down forest zone. Now again, selecting the areas around these rocks and then adding a layer of dirt on top of them, and again, like I've said, using an airbrush tool, like a sphere of air, to paint away those harsh lines that are created when you overlay in the same way that we're doing. And what overlaying does is it means that you have a layer of dirt over these rocky formations, but you also have a core of rock underneath. So when you dig away at it, when you chip away into it with your kind of carving tools, you leave a more natural looking formation. I then painted a river that connects to the lake outside the front of Dale. And again, toured around the area with bone meal to put down some more natural long grass and flowery zones. And once I populated this area outside the front of Dale with a lot of flowers, I came around with the tree tool again and put down some more trees just to make this area look a bit more natural. And here we are, the area around Dale pretty much complete. Now we could always come back to this area, add a few more rock formations here and there, and decorate it a little bit more. And like I've said, you can really just throw countless hours into a zone and make it look a little bit better, but for the time being, we're just leaving it as it is, as a nice kind of populated with flowers and grass and trees forest zone, and moving back towards Erebor and inside the fortress itself. Right, so here we go. I'm chipping away at the entrance outside the front, creating a kind of rectangular hole that will feed us into the citadel. Now I toyed around with the idea of some flame braziers, but the corridor was a little bit thin for those, so I'm just putting down torches for the time being. But lighting inside the citadel itself is something that we'll cover later on in more detail. Now I created a large empty room inside the citadel itself, put lava on the bottom floor. Now this isn't going to stay as lava, but for the time being I'm using it as a way to light up the area as much as possible. And then I've gone around the whole of the building, the whole of the room here, and put along torches so that we can see exactly what we're doing inside this room. Now this is going to be the entrance hall to Erebor. And the one key thing I want from the inside of the Erebor fortress is to have it very kind of carved and detailed. This is going to be like a proud home of the dwarves, where they're going to have spent so long just digging away, chipping away, carving patterns and formations into the rock to create this awesomely magnificent home that really impresses those people that come to visit the dwarves, and they can really see that, wow, this is basically a testament to dwarven architecture and ingenuity and just strength. So you see me here designing these kind of like upside down staircases because I want the roof to be quite different and carved and intricate like the rest of the fortress. Now these wool blocks at the top of the room you see here are just me using counted out measuring sticks so that I can put down a more symmetrical pattern along the top. And now once I had a design that was pretty symmetrical, I connected it all up using dark stone brick here. But there was a slight gap here where I'd miscalculated, so I moved the center out by 2 and created this extra zone in the middle that I'd use as a part of a pattern later on. And now with the roof pretty much done, it was time to get onto the design of the actual fortress itself. Now I wanted to carve a kind of dwarven head into the side of the rock here, into the side of the stone brick, and through the mouth I wanted lava to kind of spew as a way to naturally light this room of Erebor. Now I'm not quite happy with how I did the dwarf's head here. I've used light stone brick as the face, and then tried out marble brick here, marble steps, as the dwarf's hair. Then I put down a pattern of steps behind the dwarf's head and fed some lava down from the top that would eventually leak down and spew through his mouth. And then because we have this thick kind of intricate roof here from dark stone brick, I could then easily carve and chip into that some really kind of detailed, awesome designs and runes to add to the decoration of the entrance to Erebor. again lighting up the eyes with some grills and some lava behind them, and then drawing again these kind of like hourglass-shaped runes on the sides of this roof section. And because I had the freedom to chip away in here, I went in about 3 layers and put in an extra design inside the hourglass here to help light up the fortress room even more. Now remember, the bottom of this room is coated in lava, but in the end we're going to be removing that and adding a more natural flooring. But for the time being, it's just there to make sure we can see exactly what we're doing. I then came around to the top again, to the roof, and added a few design struts with dark stone brick. And then I started to design, well, because this is basically a large underground kind of cavernous room, it's going to need huge pillars, like you see in the movies, to hold up the roof. And so that's what I started designing here. It took me a long time to find something I was happy with. And all I really knew about what I wanted to design here was that it had to be stone brick and look like intricate supporting pillars. And once I had a kind of design I was happy with, I copy and pasted it along the whole of the pillar itself, all the way down. And added in a few iron bars as decoration along the pillar. And then once I had something I was completely happy with, I could then begin copy-pasting that to the other areas of the room, like you see me doing here. Now again, the lighting here is not very atmospheric, but I've put down enough torches so that you guys can easily see everything that I'm doing. Now with those pillars in place, it was time to copy and paste the hourglass design from one side of the room to the other. And then paste in a few more of the support struts to hold up the roof and keep the area looking symmetrical. And there you go. Now because this room is going to be symmetrical, what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the design on this side and then copy and paste it over to the other side. And that's what you see me doing here, copying one side and pasting it right over to the other. Kablam! Oh yeah, now that's looking pretty cool so far, but there's still a lot to do in this room. Now we've finally made our first progress inside the halls of Erebor. We've gone through the front entrance, we've carved out a large area that's going to become, this is just the entrance hall. The actual throne room, the treasure rooms, the digging mining tunnels, they're all going to be in here, and they're going to be much more larger and lavish. This is just the entrance hall that people will walk into, and they'll see the might and the power of the dwarves as soon as they come through that door. We've designed half of this roughly, we've done the roof pretty much, we've got a weird dwarven head that we might come back to and change a little bit, we've carved in some intricate designs to the sides of the roof, but for the time being, this is all we're going to do in the halls, in the first entrance room of Erebor. We'll come back next episode and we'll add some more bridges, some more walkways, we'll cover the flooring for that first zone, and we'll also add a few more designs, add the doorways and entrances to the other parts of Erebor that we'll be able to explore and access. But for the time being, that's it for Let's Build Erebor. So until next time, take care.